Put simply, Lerdsila is a defensive genius. Known as the eel for how slippery he is during a match, Lerdsila has the uncanny ability to not only get out of bad situations, but turn them to his advantage. This flashy style of defensive countering has earned Lerdsila championships in several different weight classes, and at one point, he even held a 100-fight win streak. Lerdsila is constantly evolving, seeming to periodically get tired of some of his most impressive tricks, only to replace them with something even crazier. That means there's a lot of advanced moves to cover, so we'll be taking a quick look at the foundational elements of Lerdzila's style, and then explain how he takes that to the next level to execute his jaw-dropping techniques. Techniques that very few fighters on Earth can pull off. Lerdsila keeps his hands low, so his defense is built around a mix of head movement and a long, extended guard. Both of these defensive systems avoid directly absorbing any impact from an opponent's strike, and can work especially well together when combined with lateral footwork. For instance, here Lerdsila uses head movement and a V-step to escape the corner, and then pushes against his opponent to shorten his hook. By using extended guard tactics as he changes angles like this, Lerdsila completely disrupts an opponent's balance. He'll either secure a hold from a superior outside position, or push against his opponent from an angle that compromises his integrity. This makes follow-up attacks nearly impossible, forcing competitors to take the time to readjust, or try to throw a follow-up strike while entirely unstable. Basically, once Lerdsila makes contact, he's essentially gained control, and can then set up a multitude of attacks, from brutal knees from the clinch, to sweeps. Every move has a counter, which is why, when an opponent tries this on him, Lerdsila uses his instability to throw him. By keeping his guard extended or low like this, he also eases his ability to parry or catch kicks. Lerdzila's reflexes are so incredible, he can even catch spin kicks. Once again, Lerdsila has a crazy tactic for when an opponent gets him in this same situation, hopping out of leg catches when his opponents try to sweep him. He'll also retract his kick and then turn it into another one to gain some distance. If an opponent tries to throw his kick to set up a punch, Lerdsila will simply drop down and use head movement to evade the attack. Speaking of head movement, Lerdsila also uses pulls, slips, and ducks to set up counters and close the distance. Combined with footwork, Lerdsila can turn bad situations with his back against the ropes into superior positions, bewildering his opponents. He can even evade obscure attacks, like axe kicks. Always unpredictable, Lerdsila will use head movement in conjunction with footwork to enter into a new angle, or sink low and bump his opponent to hold his ground. Lerdsila even incorporates head movement into his kicking game. Notice how he ducks offline to stay safe as he intercepts with his own kick. Head movement also helps Lerdsila to counter competitors' punches with kicks. For those playing at home, kicks hit harder than punches. Here, Lerdsila steps in deep with a jab. Leading far forward not only encourages his opponent to attack his head, but also gives him plenty of room to pull back. Lerdsila does just that, blending his pull with an intercepting lead leg roundhouse. But Lerdzila's most insane technique when it comes to head movement is the way he pulls against kicks. Leaning so far back, he's at times parallel with the ground. There are only a few next level fighters who can pull off this risky maneuver. But Lerdsila takes it one step further by pivoting and shuffling while he's in this position. I don't normally feel the need to say this, but please don't try this at home, let alone sparring. Here, Lerdsila uses this technique to evade a roundhouse, and then immediately catches his opponent's follow-up spin kick to put him on the ground. Lerdzila's own kicking game is highly creative. His insane reflexes mean he can identify when his opponent is taking a heavy step and intercept it, or spot an opening and connect in a fraction of a second with pinpoint accuracy. For those of you that missed it, Lerdsila landed a lead roundhouse to the head in that last clip. Lerdzila's opponents are often left mumbling the iconic words of Chris Tucker. Which one of you all kicked me? Now let's take a look at some examples of Lerdzila's creative kicking techniques, starting with clips that are merely impressive, and moving up to sequences that you would only expect to see in an over-the-top martial arts movie. In these clips, Lerdsila double teeps the same way that boxers will double jab, using the first kick to set up distance and then catching opponents unaware with the second. In this clip, Lerdsila feints a leg kick, and then transitions into a jumping spinning roundhouse. And here, Lerdsila uses one of his best weapons, a kind of inverted teep that pushes his opponent sideways. Lerdsila uses this kick to intercept opponents with his shorter strike just as they think they're about to connect. Here, Lerdsila times the kick so well his opponent stumbles and spins away, giving Lerdsila the time to set up one of the coolest knockdowns ever. Lerdsila isn't just great, his skills are extraordinary. While not everyone can achieve his speed and reflexes, we can all look to put a bit more creativity into our attack.